Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about how to get into the Maths Tripos to study mathematics in Cambridge as an international student. This is what I did from 2017 up to 2020, and then I stayed on for 1 year to do a master's and then do a 4-year PhD, which is what I'm doing now, what I'm finishing. And I'm gonna make this video as the perspective from of an international student. So I grew up in Spain, and that's where I did my high school diploma and everything. And so there may be a lot of resources for how to apply. Like if you are in the UK already, then you'll be pretty familiar with that. And there's still resources for international students. But since I'm making the Spanish version of this video, I thought this might also be helpful for people who are doing other high school systems that are not the British ones. And so I thought this might help some people. If you have some specific question, then please let me know in the comments or contact me. And also, I'm talking about how to study mathematics in Cambridge, but this is not very different from studying other subjects in Cambridge. The process, although the final step, which is a maths exam, that's obviously different. But I hope this can be helpful for someone. So basically, it's a really long timeline, and you need to start thinking about it quite ahead before you actually start. So the first step is sending a general application to the UK university system. And if you're interested in either Oxford or Cambridge, the deadline for this is the 15th of October of the year before you will start studying. And as a fun fact, you can only choose either Oxford or Cambridge. You cannot apply to both at the same time, but you can choose Cambridge and then a bunch of up to 4 more universities, like maybe one of the London universities, or Scottish universities as well. So you might as well send that to more universities. And for this part of the process, you also need to send in like your predicted grades, a letter from your school about you, your personal statement. That's the most important part. And obviously, you kind of need to choose which subject you are interested in studying. So this already takes some time to write up and get the letter from the school and so on. But then after you send it, then you have to wait. And if you're lucky, in November they will send you an email inviting you to an interview. So a lot of people, most people who have the right, there could be a good match for the course, they are invited to interviews, because these documents that you just write on your application, they they're all a bit artificial, and they don't say much about you as a mathematician or as a prospective student of the subject that you're applying to. So with the interviews is how they get to know you personally. So most people will be invited for the interviews. I think nowadays they're done online for international students, although I did have to fly in to have my interview, which was a fun but a scary experience. And the interview will be mostly mathematical. Obviously, they might ask a few questions generally about you, but that's mostly just small talk to get you to relax a bit and get you a bit more comfortable. But then they will ask you math questions, and they will become very hard. So basically, everyone thinks that they've done really poorly in their interview and leaves crying and thinks that they're never gonna, come to Cambridge or anything. But that's how it's designed to be. And so a lot of people, myself included, then get a lucky surprise when in January, mid to early January, is when they send out offers. So they should be offering you a place if they think that you've passed the interview. And I will just say that, of course, the interview takes a lot of preparation, and it's not a problem if you haven't covered one maths topic in school, because they know that you have done different topics in different different educational system in a different country. But you still need to prepare it, because you cannot say, oh, I haven't covered this, for a lot of the topics or the questions that they ask. So if you want me to make a video about how to prepare for the interview, then I can also do so, because it does take some time to prepare for it properly, I think. But anyways, if you are lucky, then they will send you the offers in January. But the key of these offers is they're conditional offers. So they will be like, okay, you are accepted, but you have to meet these requirements. So the first of these requirements would usually just be based around your school grades or the final exams, depending on like how your educational system it is. It might be like some standardized exams that everyone takes, or just like your normal school grades at the end of your final year. And it would be, at least in my case, it was something like, okay, your average total for the subject that you're taking has to be like up to this level, but also like it also has to be up to this level in this specific subject. So like mathematics and physics, which are the most closely related to my own intended subject of study, mathematics. But that's usually the easy part. Like once you get that, you just talk to your school, and maybe they like sign your grades or something, and you can send it over to them, and they'll be happy that you've met that part of the offer. Because to be honest, the biggest and most difficult hurdle in this ordeal really is the step exam, which happens in early June. So it's also like you know uh, hard to balance that with like preparing for the normal school exams or other like entrance tests that you might be doing for universities in your own country. So you need to start preparing for a step way earlier, because here you cannot say, oh, I haven't covered this. Like it just said um, criteria, like a schedule of like topics that are covered in the exam. And most of them like will be somewhat familiar to you, but there will be some that you won't have covered at all in the school, and you need to learn those by yourself. But most importantly, the style of the questions, they're more like how mathematics it is in the university level rather than at the like um, high school level. So it does take um, some time to prepare for that. And to be honest, my advice would be like from the day that you get the offer in January, you need to have a plan to tackle step. So I can also make a video about it if anyone is interested in how I prepare a step. To be honest, now luckily there's like a lot of resources online about how to do it. So even if you're an international student and your school has no idea what this exam is like, what it is about, you can still prepare it, but just be aware that it will take like a lot of time and effort to get it right. Um, and it's about like 50% of the people who pass this exam, and then they get on to get the offers. So this is like um, yeah, it's tough. But this is the final step. So once they send the grades in August, so it's a long process overall from when you first send the application in October, but like mid-August they send the grades, and then that will have confirmed your offer. And then yeah, you can go on and study. And so just my final piece of advice is that like it's really long process, and it's complicated, and it requires a lot of work, but you don't have to be a genius or have done like maths Olympiads or anything like that. And I hadn't, and there's and I still made it, and it's completely like changed my life. And so even as an international student, which makes it even harder, because you're not aware of other peers doing the same thing, or your school has no idea how to help you. But nowadays, like, you can find a lot of help online. And so if you'd like me to like comment on any specific parts of the process or make a video about it, then I'm happy to do so. So please subscribe so that you get notified if I ever make something like that, or just give it a like to this video, and motivate me to do a video about it. Thank you, and don't stop learning.